kindergarten students at St. John's, I've had the benefit of having her as a teacher. A trusted, cherished, and steady presence for some of our youngest students and community members. Mrs. Isles gave these children all of her each and every day. That is why tonight we honor her and name our Excellence in Education Award after her. To induct Mrs. Isles, please welcome Val Shippen.
Good evening. I am Valerie Isles Shippen, and I have the amazingly humbling honor of recognizing my mom with an award of distinction and one that will forever bear her name, the Carol Isles Excellence in Education Award. For those of you who don't know her, my mom, kind of a rock star, kind of a celebrity, I have to say. At least that's what I thought, and I know my sister did as well, who's here, when we were younger, because, and I'm going to date myself in saying this, but whether we were at Purity Supreme in West Peabody, or Leechmere at Liberty Tree Mall, or St. John the Baptist at Mass, or Prince House of Pizza in Saugus, inevitably we would hear somebody say, "Mrs. Isles, you were my favorite teacher," and the hugs would come, and then about 2 hours later, after she had asked, "How are you? How are your children?" would come the question, "You're going to be there for my youngest son or daughter teaching kindergarten, right?" And she would, "God's telling me, another year." This job was not a job at all. It was an absolute vocation, a calling to love children up right where they are, and their parents too, if need be, because everybody were her children. And after 44 years of teaching in the same school, in the same grade, you actually have grand students. She spent countless hours in her classroom, sometimes often, more often than not, until 10 at night, getting lessons ready, setting up sewing the alphabet, or sewing pillows in the child's initials of their names, or learning new languages or prayers in Japanese or Spanish or sign language or anything else that was culturally going to be enriching for her students. Or she could be found making chocolate pudding in which to spread all over the tables and teach them their alphabets. Or maybe it was a lesson in shaving cream alphabets on the same tables. She might be making popcorn in her classroom, which you could smell all throughout the hallways, and bagging it to give not only to her class, but to anyone who wandered in for a hug. Or she might be there tidying up the play structure the parents had built her in her classroom. All I know is that our dining room table at home was always piled high with the next project for her kids. And because of this dedication, I never wanted to become a teacher. It was exhausting. It looked it. But as luck would have it, I have been blessed to become an educator and to teach in the same school with my mom for 8 years before she retired. And it was awesome because many of my junior high students would look at me in awe when they realized that Mrs. Isles was in fact my mother. And so the hard work of disciplining was over in about 10 seconds because she's a legend. And she's a legend because she lives by the motto that kindergarten is a time to nurture human beings, not to worry so much about reading or writing, but worrying about sharing and being kind. It's not so much a time for memorizing math facts, but for memorizing the fact that God loves you just as you are. That you don't have to be the brightest in class, but be the best human being that you can be, even at 5 years old. Care about others more than yourself, and be proud of who you are, and know that you are loved absolutely by a God that adores you. please join me in welcoming and congratulating my mom, Carol Isles, as the inaugural recipient of the Carol Isles Excellence in Education Award.
I don't know who that person is, but I don't think it's me. I think I gained 10 pounds wondering what I was going to talk about. And I think I've changed my little chat here about 20 times. And I just finished it this afternoon, so here we go. Every person is living a legacy for the future of everyone. Every single person here on the earth, actually. It's a bit deep, but it's really true. No matter what we do, it affects everything. That's something to think about. We are all on this journey together. We borrow the earth from our children, so let's make it better for them. St. John's is a home away from home, a second family. Every child that enters that building is cared for, loved, and protected. And when understanding this, when I left very abruptly, I still have not been able to walk back in there because part of my heart is still there. This saying is Gandhi is perfect. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And I truly believe that. Even though we may not realize it, this is what we all do, no matter what you do in life. When you have a few minutes to go to YouTube and listen to Let Them Be Little by Billy Keane. Trish Stevie introduced me to that song. It's beautiful. I hope I did that with our daughters and the children that have been entrusted to me through the years. We can learn so much from our children. They teach us patience, love, and hope, and that's just the beginning. At this time, I'd like to thank our daughters and grandchildren for all their support and love they have so selflessly given to us and continue to do so every single day. Both our daughters, Valerie and Daryl, are teachers, as well as our grandson, Tate, who has had a lot of my students in Hamilton Wenham. And let's see, and our other grandchildren, Sarah and Maxwell, are physical therapists. Channing is a music therapist. And our youngest grandson, who was able to come today from the University of Lowell, he's a nutritional science major at UMass Lowell, looking to become a pathologist inspired by his former vision teacher who battles a severe case of Lyme disease, which she almost died from it. We have 3 great grandchildren now, and one of which Tate and his wife Liz entrusted their son Henry to me, to my husband and I to care for during the week while they both work. So thankfully I am not retired, and hope I never will be so long as my body holds out. I hope you all brought your sleeping bags, because once I get started talking about children, there's no stopping me. But I won't be long, I promise. And my former parents can attest to that. I would like to clear up my humble beginning at St. John's, because I think I was introduced, not now, but they said that I went from a school right into St. John's. That's not true. I was invited. I had a very difficult childhood, and I do feel that because of that, God said, let's put that to good use. And he put me into St. John's. I never expected to be a teacher. That wasn't my goal. And I'll tell you my goal. My goal was to be a portrait artist, which I used to work at all the time, and I did stop at my mother got cancer, so I had to stop. And I wanted to be a choreographer and live in Greenwich Village in New York. And that's what I wanted to be, but of course I used all those things at St. John's anyway. I was inadvertently hired by the City of Peabody into the Title I Head Start program, run by Pam Houston. The first year the program was in homes. The next year it was extended into schools, and St. John's offered the room that has the 3-year-old preschool program now. To make a very long story short, St. John's literally bought me from the city, for lack of a better way to put it. When a second kindergarten was needed, I was then asked to take the position. which I promptly did not want to do. So it took about 3 times for me to finally say I would at least try it. And if I didn't feel that I was serving the children well, I would like to go back down to the preschool with Mrs. Levander. I had 5 incredible principals: Sister Ellen Julie, Sister Marie Morris, Sister Marsha Bellick, Sister Lenore, and Maureen Gallagher. And I would like to add, principals do not have the summer off, ever. I've been blessed with wonderful co-workers that have truly become my family, and I miss them dearly. At least 4 of my students have been teachers at St. John's as well. Yes. Okay. A blast from the past. I'll give you a few of my little things that happened. And I like to title it, A Day in the Life of a Kindergarten Teacher. A little boy entering the classroom one morning, grudgingly, not wanting to leave his parents, looked up at me with those beautiful big blue eyes and said, "I'm going to bite you." And in those days I had teeth. I don't have too many right now. I quickly resorted to thinking like a 5-year-old and told him my teeth were bigger than his. He decided not to bite me anymore. And this one is fun times. I was walking around the classroom singing and dancing with the children. I used to wear this big sombrero, and I would let it go up and down as I danced. It's amazing, it never fell off. So after the CD was over, they joined me and said, "Mrs. Isles, you're crazy." And I replied, "I hope so." Precious moments. A little boy came up to me one morning. "Mrs. Isles, when I grow up, I'm going to marry you." Well, obviously, I started crying. And then I thought to myself, wait till I tell his mom and dad I'm going to be their daughter-in-law. Which, by the way, I did tell them when they picked him up. They said they were going to have a talk with him. Okay, now for the serious side. The middle finger day. No. I sat the children down and explained that God gave us fingers to hold crayons, etc., etc., etc. One of the little boys raised his hand politely and said, "My mommy only uses that finger when she's driving." And I will not mention names to protect the guilty. But you know who you are, dear. And I'd like to leave you with these thoughts. I had this thing printed on the kindergarten wall in my classroom that went in my mother's, and the author is unknown. Children want to learn to the degree that they cannot distinguish learning from fun. That was always my goal. My own motto is mess is best. A number of times the children would ask me, "When are you going to teach us something?" "Mommy and Daddy want to know." I told them, "Tell Mom and Dad, work is play and play is work." If only, dear people, if only. This should apply to all of us. Everyone has the right to love work and school. Why not? What's stopping us from making that happen? What a wonder-filled world it would be. When I walked the children to a classroom, we would hold hands and we'd sing this song. Can everybody stand up for a minute? And you all hold hands. If you all hold hands with each other. So this is my last request.
Oh, my shoulder.
And can you sing this with future verses? This is what we sang down the hallways. Ready? Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make it a better world if you can. Let's take the roof down. Come on. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make it a better world if you can. And you can do that. Thank you, and God bless you all. Over.
Badzi.
She nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
The big guy.
You can let her know I recorded it.
Incredibles.
I know.